Okay, so pull up U.S. two constitutions.
All right.
Google.
Gotcha.
That's Article 2.
Okay. Okay.
If you go to images, it should be easier to find.
Okay, let's do it. All right, it says one right. This is one right here, and then it's another one.
You see the two side-by-side papers, second down?
Yeah,
first,
the Continental
first
Congress,
picture?
and then the Continental Congress, and then
No. Hold on, I'm gonna have to send it to you.
All right.
Right here,
right here, you don't see it right there.
Okay, let's go read some of that. Let's see, because that sounds like that might be it. You know how to right click and enlarge the print.
Oh, let me see. Oh man, come on.
Not the picture.
Yeah, maybe I had to let's see, the United States. I'm trying to find a part where they talk about two constitutions. Yes, it's derived from Muslim law, Hebrew law.
You see, Muslims and Hebrews is playing a whole lot of shit into the United States, and we not from the Middle East. Why they shit over here?
Yeah, right. Why is it derived from Muslim law? Oh, that a bunch of bull crap.
No, remember, the Third World War was supposed to be against the Muslims and the Hebrews.
I says the final chapter concludes that the United States has two constitutions: the written constitution in peacetime and a special unwritten constitution in the time of war of a nation's emergency. Thomas J. Reed is professor Iptris of the law, Water University School of Law. And then it says, since the Declaration of Independence in 1776, the U.S. had two constitutions. The first Article of Confederation, which was established in 1781, then currently the Constitution that was established in 1787, 6 years later.
That's the one. 1787.
Yeah, it's 1787. Then 17. The first one was the Declaration of Independence, 76. Then the U.S. had two constitutions. The first Article of Confederations, which was established in 1781. Then the current Constitution that was established in 1787. See what they put the Article of Confederations?
No, it's not the Articles of Confederation. That's the Iroquois Constitution.
Okay.
One of them is the corporate jurisdiction. Okay, do this. All laws commercial. Type that in.
All right. Got it. It says commercial law, also known as merchant law and trade law.
No. It's a law in the books that say all laws commercial, what you're looking for.
Okay.
Go to the images. It's gonna be easy to find under images.
All law about commercial law. Okay, maybe it's right here. Definition of commercial law. No, that's not it. Yeah, I can't find unless you get the course of law transaction. All law is commercial. All right, let's see what they got. Come on with it, man. What the hell? Commercial law is centered around the sale of distribution of goods and finances of specific transactions. It is governed by the Uniform Commercial Code, an example set of laws concerning the sales of goods, leasing or negotiating instruments, and secure transactions. Let's see. Commercial law is a body of laws that regulate the conduct of persons, merchants, and business who are engaged in trade, sales, and commerce, also known as business law. It is a broad area of law that interacts with many other areas of law, such as environmental regulations, real estate, and food and safety laws. Let me watch my glasses on so I can see. So I'm still looking for that all community code is all law. A commercial code is all law. Okay, commercial.
I'm about to pull it up for you 1 second. I got it in my phone. I'm just looking for it.
All right.
While you was going over that.
Another thing, it says commercial law is a body of laws which regulate. Okay, I read that already. Okay, it's a board term or range legal. Okay, it says you might be wondering what commercial law is all about. Commercial law is a broad term for a range of legal services designed to support businesses. So it's all business. So all law is business.
It's all business.
So us getting rammed up in the behind and getting our land took and all that, it was just business. It wasn't personal. So the Native Americans get robbed blind, getting our shit took, our gold and our land, it was all business. Listen,
they never stole the land. It's still here.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, go ahead. I know. We got the land. They stole the mines.
They stole the mines. You're right.
Right.
The land's still here. The money's still in the sacred vaults. So then why in the fuck we don't have that shit?
Exactly, bro.
Why is it called the color of law?
Exactly.
It's called the color of law because it's used to enforce what's called a color code. The color code is between free white persons in law, which is Moors, and black people in law, which is us.
Yeah.
Civilly dead is a straw man.
Okay.
So if you civilly dead, you're not 5/5 realized.
Uh-huh.
You 3/5 compromised, you fall under the Dred Scott rule, and that's what they did to fuck us.
Damn, bro.
See, I got a lot of this stuff. I don't know if you can see by my phone, but I got a lot of this stuff.
You can just read it out to us.
I'm about to pull it up. I'm looking at a whole lot of shit, but I'm trying to stay to the
Conjure Wars.
Right, because I want to show the two laws, but I can't find them. I got another way of looking for it though.
Hey, if you in the building, we got 100 and some people on this one. Hit that like button right now for your brother, man. If you want to show your brother Rod Haynes some love, we post this Cash App in the links, man. Hit that like button, man. We getting these niggas. We break it. Go ahead, brother Rod.
Flip to my phone. I'm going to show you this Admiralty flag.
Okay, look, I'm gonna okay. Let me see, cause you want me to share your you want to share your screen?
Yeah.
All right, hold on. Let me do it real quick. I'm gonna make you the co-host. Then you can share your screen. Oh yeah, baby. That's right.
Okay, you see this right here?
Go ahead.
You see that? I'm gonna read this part right here.
Okay.
It says yellow fringe is not authorized on a title. 4 USA Codes, Chapter 1, Section 1 and 2 flag. It is a mutilation. Section 3. Gold tassel is Admiralty. This flag with yellow fringe represent no nation and no constitution.
Okay.
Right? I got all kind of shit on here. But I'm trying to find the second constitution. Because the second constitution, the first constitution is called public law. The corporate jurisdiction is called federal law or United States Code.
Some good stuff, man. This all key stuff right here. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. One second, I'm getting to some
And when
hot
you get
shit.
through with all this, I got some more stuff I need you to look at too and call it like you see it, man. I like how you be calling it like you see it, man.
Okay. It still ain't coming up. I'll find it. We're gonna do it on another one. I'll show you the two constitutions. But I already got it posted on my Instagram, but they closed my Instagram down with all that stuff on it.
Yeah.
Man, I got so many receipts. I can't go through the motherfuckers this fast. Okay, now remember, they want us to think that we came from Africa. And they want us to think that we not the organic people from this land over here.
Right.
What is the significance of that?
You asking me or you?
Look. See this? Plantation police. You see it?
Look at that there. Look at that there.
This is where the police was created as slave catchers from the very beginning in the onset.
And in South Carolina.
I'm gonna show you some more shit since I'm going through shit.
Oh yeah, you got some artifacts right there, man. That's an artifact right there. Another thing that we can finger their ass with. You know what I'm saying?
I got so much stuff, man. I can't come up with no more receipts. I got so many receipts. Well, I can, but shit, motherfuckers can't keep up with the ones that already been producing. Here, look. These are all wars. They call them black massacres. This is where they was killing us to keep us from getting in power. Got years in there. All them are the years in the locations of mass murder.
Damn, bro. They getting scared now, boy. They getting scared now. Get these niggas, Rod. Get these.
All this stuff, look, all this stuff they've been telling us for years. Ty's been giving us the civics lessons, and we ain't applying the civics lessons to civics.
That's right.
We listen to them. It's like masturbation. That shit feel good. Ain't gonna make no baby.
Good analogy. Hey, so what was you saying about that rabbit? You said that Benjamin Banneker, we took his feds because he was fucking with the rabbit. He was fucking with rabbits and shit, little rabbits.
No, the rabbit is a symbol in the layout of DC. The dog is sniffing in the rabbit.
The dog is sniffing the rabbit. Now, what's the fucking alchemy behind it? Because I know Easter has got some tricky shit with the bunny laying eggs and shit.
No, the Easter is a fertility
alchemy.
A fertility holiday.
That's right. It's dealing with alchemy on fertility. That's right. So what's your take on this nigga, a rabbit sniffing a dog's ass? What you said? It was a dog sniffing a rabbit's ass? Or what you said?
Look, go okay. Google DC layout, dog sniff bunny.
All right. I got you. Let's get there. Dog sniff a bunny.
me and you sign a contract. I don't uphold nothing in my side of the contract.
Right.
The contract then is up to you to do what you want to do with the contract. It's not up to me because I already then violated my end of the agreement. I held up nothing.
Right.
All right. Zero. You held up every part. It's right. So you've upheld every part of the contract that you agreed to. I haven't held up nothing. Now, time-wise, the contract can end. Specific performance being lacking can end the contract. Specific performance in law mean that you do what you said you was going to do in the contract.
Mm-hmm.
When you don't do that, you can get an injunctive relief during the life of the contract, compelling the person that's not upholding the end of the contract to perform a specific performance. That means if me and you agree that I won't use green light bulbs in my house because I got it from you.
Mm-hmm.
You keep coming by, I keep putting these goddamn green light bulbs in.
Right.
Injunctive relief is in your favor because I'm violating the agreement. So the contract ended July the 4th, 2019, except we didn't know. I knew, and I acted on it on behalf of all of us, not just me.
Right.
Once I acted on it, now I closed the contract for lack of specific performance. Nobody can show me any treaty that was ever honored by this de facto corporation pretending to be our government. So, because they never honored any other treaties, because they never made them with us in the first place, they made them with $5 Indians that they created in law by paperwork. Right? So this is when I be saying imbeciles in law is the unum sanctum decree. It's saying that until you figure this part out, what we're talking about now, you have no claim to the contract. You are imbecile. Therefore, you awarded the Pope.
Your subject. Okay, so, dang. So if the contract, right? Say for instance, right now, what's going on? People like I tune in heavy. So people are entering into agreements tacitly, and they shouldn't. The contract's dead. So how do you?
That's proving their position that they ignorant under the law.
Mm-hmm.
Now, don't nobody want to go through the hard part. Like I already did my hard part. I went through this shit, but I already understood from studying that all I have to do is set myself up where I don't need their system.
Right.
And then I can separate from their system. I can come out their system, right, and still have the system operating over there, but it doesn't control me.
You can enter and exit when you want to.
Right. Now, I have no desire to enter back into their system. Any contract that I'm under, I already told them to show me where I am the debtor. They can't show me that because I've already put it in the public record that I am the de jure, and I got an absolute right to enforce the inalienable rights of any Klansman from the land, of the land, walk in the land, right? I got a right. If I see it, I have a right to tell them and to seize everything on their behalf. Same with you. If let's say you'd have figured it out and it wouldn't have been me.
Right.
You could, everything I did, you would have did because you would have knew as a 5/5 realized party and not a 3/5 compromise.
Mm-hmm.
Right. You would have knew then that, okay, there's a series of steps I have to follow to liberate the people from the oppressive de facto corporation masquerading as a legitimate government.
Right.
Okay. Now, so for argument's sake, let's say you did all of the work that I did. It still applied the same because there's no big I's and no little U's on this land over here. And that means that the one that know the way lead the path. Mm-hmm. You don't ask nobody, you get up and you do your part. Now, had you done that because you've seen it, nobody else seen it, then you would be the person I am doing right now. You would be doing exactly what I'm doing, informing the people, hey, I already did what we needed to do to reclaim the land and the wealth of the land. See, it ain't just the land; it's also the wealth of the land.
That they got in
right? An injunctive relief demanding that the de facto corporation be dismantled, right? Because the corporation is a legal fiction. It has no superior jurisdiction to the de facto human being, the flesh and blood breathing individual.
Now, not to take you off course, but this is important. Now, what happened, because you're talking about the corporation, what happened when Trump basically, quote unquote, lost the election, right? But they killed that corporation, the U.S., and then, resurrected a new one, which Biden is operating under. Was that because the contract had ended and they were trying to re-up a new corporation?
So they on what you call a per diem basis. Okay. The corporation, the transition of government has to take place. There's no way around that. During the interim of the transition, they was the ones in the position of power until we get done, each one teach one to sufficient number to see what's going on the land and to exile the corporation. So they operate now. First they had a 6-month contract that expired, right? All you gotta do is watch the congressional meetings for funding. They got to fund this shit and they got to have congressional hearings. The last one they had was about 4 months ago. And what it said in the meeting was that there's nobody to lend money to the corporation because all of the corporations have been seized and are in the same condition as the corporate United States, right? And because of this, there's nobody to lend them money, but you still have people with this de facto or with this adhesion contract getting driver's license, participating in their court systems, right? And all that shit.
Right.
Now, it's not enough for 10 people to do it. You got to have enough people in order to snatch the legs from under the table.
At that monkey rule or whatever?
Yep, the 100 monkey effect. That's in psychology. In physics, it's called the critical mass in the point of no return, or what they call it more specifically, event horizon.
Got you.
All right, now, once this takes place, and sufficient number of us is aware, hey, my brother didn't already did the work. Fuck them people, let them leave. Because every time we're doing these adhesion contracts and these nationality claims, we are recontracting with them because every one of their contracts is written in a form of legalese that's designed to always keep us in a deficit. So now I have to tell y'all the paper trap is the contracts, and the contracts is your tax form for you to work. You're not supposed to need a tax form to work. W-2s and W-4s and 1099s. Right? When the contract was in effect, had you been taught properly, the 1099 OID was your remedy. Or your remedy according to Senate Bill 191 that declared the bankruptcy.
And now that contract is up.
Right. Now, under the contract, they supposed to pay all of our bills and we supposed to compel them to do so. Now the contract ain't there no more. They can't pay their own bills. The Federal Reserve was given a expiration date of July the 4th, 2022.
Right.
For their charter. Their charter is no longer in effect. What does that mean? We're looking at the economics of a matter. The economics affects the nation as a collective. Gross national product, gross domestic product, right? Now, for those of us who are wise, what we would be doing, like I did, is following the money trail. What is the money trail? We looking at fiat Federal Reserve notes. That's not money. Those are IOUs and markers. If you remember in the old Western movie, they used to always ask if their marker is good at this bar. And then they would give them a tab based on the marker. Right? So this is what they was doing. So once they understand that the de facto corporation is falling and the Federal Reserve notes are going to have to stop being printed, the inflation is then going to plummet.
That's when people go around barrels of the money.
If the money right now we at the point with the barrels of the money. The White House chose not to let it get as bad as Nazi Germany. It ain't gonna never get that bad. As soon as the people realize that the United States corporation is gone, then we will automatically move into the new system.
So what do you think? That's just like staying out the way, putting together.
Take your ball and go home.
Yeah.
More than anybody else, the sisters. Just they shit. They the oldest souls on the planet. I'm just firstborn of the earthborn. And Big Mama said, leave no stone unturned.
Right.
So I go through it and I examine it and I say, this is what we supposed to be doing. So now I look around to see who's doing this. Nobody. Nobody can tell you that Mexico has as much oil as Saudi Arabia, but they're not allowed to sell it. And why? Mexico is minerally one of the richest land countries in the world based on the modern lines of demarcation or border lines. They minerally rich, but they fiat money poor. And under the invasion system of Spain and the conquistadors, who was blackamoors and tawny Moors, who took over the western region of the landmass up here, going into Central America, almost all of South America, they took over. Them conquistadors. When they took over, they implemented the same Federal Reserve central banking network that they do everywhere they go. Only the wealth of the land can only be sold if it's agreed by the people organic to the land. So now, when you hear them talking about U.S. oil in reserve, and that somebody just dropped the number of barrels, Chief Strong Eagle, my man, 2,484,354.88 barrels per day. Do you know how much? That's enough money to feed everybody in Mexico, San Salvador, Belize.
Yeah, maybe even.
And Belize, Haiti, and Jamaica. This one day's worth of oil production can feed all of them people for over a year. So we trying to get them to understand the kind of wealth we talking about. This is why we need to get Big Meech out, because Big Meech's job is to teach the young brothers like you how to not lose track of how to control this wealth so it don't control you. When you look back at our history, right, we've been hitting the lotto since the 70s, since like 77 when the lotto first came out, 77, 78, somewhere around there. But every time one of us hit the lotto, we don't go get no accountants to teach us how to deal with this money. And normally within a year, we all flat broke. How do you win $40 million and you broke in a year? You don't know how to handle money, which proves to them you an imbecile in law, unum sanctum. Right? So you done been reverted back to the jurisdiction of the papacy because you can't handle money. Big Meech's job, when he experienced the gaining of wealth and the understanding of the mechanics of wealth and how it affected the people, he understood how to teach these young guys how to live from the perspective of wealth, right? Without losing it. You don't have to lose it. You just have to know how to make the money work for you instead of you working for the money.
Now, is that survival mindset that we've taken over, basically almost subconsciously feeling like you got to spend it because you need to get it from the mud? No. Okay.
It's this mindset. I ain't never had it. I'm going to get everything I think I want.
True.
And I'm going to buy everybody I like something else too. Everybody you like don't like you, motherfucker. Everybody that you're willing to do for, not willing to do for you.
Right.
Everybody that hit the lottery is not going to do for you what you will for them once you hit the lottery. Now, the one with the perceptive eye know the ones that would hit the lottery and take care of them, and they will reciprocate that. And the ones that won't, if he wants something, they have to earn it from him. He ain't gonna give it to him, but he gonna give it to him if they meet certain criteria, a qualification. Mm-hmm. So you have to be qualified to handle your wealth before you can receive it. This is what we're doing right now. We proven we qualify as a collective to receive our wealth in contradistinction to the unum sanctum, where the Pope said, since we was all imbeciles in law, that we have no right that a white man is bound to respect. And the white man is a free white person in law who's carrying out something known to the papacy as the white man's burden. The white man's burden is written in the papal bull as a decree ordaining the priesthood to settle the world and to take it from the peasants, not the peasants, the heathens, right, and secure it for the church. This is all verifiable information that anybody that know how to do sixth grade research can find. Its only problem where we didn't never figure it out before me is because everybody keep looking under the same rock for a different stone. You can't look under the same rock everybody else looked under, because they didn't already wore that out. It's another rock somewhere they're not looking under.
Right.
That's the rock that I have to look for. So that angle or perspective is the perspective that I have to look at the problem from. Dr. Neely Fuller, I called him on the telephone and personally talked to him. And he told me about his time in Japan in the military when he was sitting up on the mountains. Now, the mountains of Japan is the home of the Ainu, A-I-N-U. The Ainu is the tribe of Anu, what we call the Golden Dragon tribe. Mm. The Golden Dragon tribe are the seeds of Anu around the world. They came down here on a stateside visit to inspect the earth for the gold mining, and ENLIL started the war while Anu was on the earth. So his entourage that he travels with got trapped in the sibling rivalry between ENLIL and Enki, who ENLIL is the instigator of. Right? So now ENLIL lost, and Anu, he never got involved in the war on anybody's side. But his children don't want to be here. They wasn't supposed to be here this long. So imagine that you go somewhere with your homeboys. It's 10 of y'all. You walk into let's say a club.
Function, yeah.
Right? And two of your homeboys get to scrapping with each other and bring everybody in the club involved in it except the rest of your crew. They all looking like, what is these two clowns doing? Then he got the whole club fighting like they didn't turn them in the sides. Right? That's what happened. So now the rest of the homeboys with you like, dog, you can brought us here with these clowns. I don't want no parts of that shit. So they don't mind what life cast on them on earth because they already don't want to be here.
Right.
Right? So since they got to be here, anything that they can do to assist what is righteous, no matter who's doing the righteous deed, they're going to assist. Right? Whereas ENLIL children see anybody doing anything righteous going to automatically try to undermine it and tear it down because he wants earth in the earth realm. Sorry, sir, but you can't have it. Right? So when you read in certain stories, it gives you pieces to the puzzle. But not until you stop looking where everybody else looking and start looking in a different direction will you ever really see it. Right? And so Dr. Fuller told me the only way you're going to figure this out is you got to look at it like the whole world is a prison and you the ward. That's the only way you can see the problem. And the funny thing about a prison is the warden know everything cracking on the yard. Only people know everything on the yard is what they call gang leaders and the warden.
Even the officers don't know everything going on the yard. The inmates keep shit from them. But the warden, for some reason, got a motherfucker somewhere in that bitch telling him all the news. He know everything going on in the penitentiary. He know who fucking with the boys, who fighting on the basketball court, who's selling the dope, who's smuggling it in, which one of these motherfuckers they using the keys to the dope to bring it in. They know which officer you using to bring it in. They know if you're using alternative staff members to bring it in. And whenever they get tired, whenever the prison become problematic to the warden, he shut down your perks. He can't shut them down if you don't know what they is.
Right.
And he know the nigga that make the knives. He know the nigga that take the hits.
Right.
The warden know everything, and the only way he could possibly know it, an inmate is telling it to him.
He got inside man. Yep.
Nigga got not, more than an inside man. He got not just an inmate.
Right.
It got to be a gang leader. It got to be a minister of one of these religious organizations. It got to be a leader of one of these groups that's feeding the information to the warden. Because other than the warden, the only other motherfuckers know everything moving is the niggas that's making it move.
Mm-hmm.
So when you start looking at it from the warden, you're trying to look at who on the yard can say what's going on for real. And then you start seeing the dirty players stand out like you looking at a real penitentiary yard. In politics, in religion, in warfare, all in history, right? You can see it all. But as long as you're looking at it from a regular inmate perspective, you can't see shit. You just think you do.
So you got to zoom out. Look at the bigger picture.
Look at the bigger picture.
So then who would you say is the warden? If obviously, I want to say the Pope, but, he's still praising somebody that's walking. So
the Pope is the front man. He's the what you call chief executive officer working on behalf of Marduk. Marduk was ENLIL's warrior son who he relied on for military strategy, and he didn't want to be here either, but he had to come and support his father. So he made a deal with Tahuti that when the shit was over, that and they sealed it with a marriage arrangement. When the shit was over, he'd give Tahuti everything and he'd leave this bitch. And that's exactly what he did.
Mm.
He only stayed here long enough to fulfill the purpose that he was brought here, which was to fight the Earth War, even though he didn't agree with the war. If you fight a war you don't agree with, you're going to lose.
Mm.
All of us know that. All of us know that study military strategy. If you fight a war that you don't agree with, you're going to lose. It's a moral bankruptcy that takes place. Right? And you're going to not just lose, but you're going to end up causing an insurrection and be overthrown and deposed by your subjects.
Because you're not willing to do what it takes.
No, because you don't agree with the war. The war is wrong. In order for you not to agree with it and you righteous in your heart, it got to be basically fundamentally wrong. And if you fighting a war that you know is basically and fundamentally wrong, you have no passion for victory. You have no keenness of perception in order to win the battle. You slipping. You got cracks in the game now. Right? And this is what they've been doing to keep us in this stupor. Because we don't never look at different ways of looking at things. Everybody not supposed to see everything the same way. But we supposed to notice enough to know that I wonder what he's looking at, because if I could see it how he could see it, then we probably can put a bigger piece of the puzzle together. So we all come with our puzzle piece and we have conversations with each other as men. As a man and a woman, or as two women, the individuals from the land are having conversations as casual conversations, but through Freudian slips, subconscious emanations, they're going to be passing critical information about what's going on the land. It's the culture of Earth. We automatically do it, but when we forget that we automatically do it, we can never recall why we was doing it. If you don't know why you're doing it, you're less likely to repeat the successes. But once you know why you're doing it, you're not going to repeat the failures. You only going to try to repeat the success. Right? So when you look at military action is a political act of violence. Right? It's a political act of violence for the furtherance of a political agenda. Politics is the means by which leadership communicates to the people in groups of mass and numbers. Right? Politics can be passed off as government, but politics is not government. Government is politics use government to control people, because govern means to control, mentis, the mind. All right. So if the politicians is using government to keep us in control, and this is only a secondary position, who's behind the politician? And that's where we looking. That's where we need to start looking at, right? So there's no coincidence that all of the so-called senators, congressmen, and presidents been some kind of way related.
Oh yeah, not at all.
Right? But now, what difference do that make? Becomes the next question. Because this is familial.
Bloodline.
Right. But not only is it familial, it's also a ruse. It's a ploy. So that you can think that the ones that's pretending to be the politicians is the family that's running everything. So now we got to look at common denominators, right? That they all have in common as senators, congressmen, presidents and vice presidents, secretaries of state, and directors of the Department of Justice, etc. Here's the common denominator. 90+% of them are in a secret society. 90+%. That means we got to stop looking at government now. Look at secret societies.
Right.
But now we need to narrow it down, because we got almost every politician is a member of a secret society.
Yep.
So now we got to get more specific, right? What's the controlling secret society? And who are the emerging figures that wield the most influence? The emerging figure that wields the most influence, right? His secret society is the one running the show. So now we looking at George Herbert Walker Bush.
That nigga's going there. Skull and Bones, right?
Skull and Bones. Common denominator pops up. When you say Skull and Bones, you talking pirates.
Oh.
Occupied our land for millennia, for ages, eons, however the fuck they want to say it. But now this is the close of the age, and where they finally allowed the Crown Prince of Heaven and Earth to take the test for the 50th galactic seat to be the God seat, male ruler God, with both the mitochondrial birthright from the motherline off of a parthogenic conception of the firstborn of the earthborn, baculate conception, clean birth child, right? So once they understood that shit had to be unraveled for a motherfucker to know who they is, and then I'm the only one unravel it, then it started making more sense to the people that's watching what's taking place. So the situation now becomes more relaxed, because when the Sweetwater come, that coast, the Gulf Coast, gonna get smacked soon as Nibiru gets far enough out of the position of the orbit to be pulling on the equator, drawing all that water from the underground sources back through back channels to suck it out to the equator. That shit coming back. When that shit come back, it's gonna be a tidal wave running down a dry ass Mississippi. It's gonna be a motherfucking tidal wave rolling up on the Gulf from that water being returned. And we already had the hurricane hit Mexico today. We had an earthquake hit California. The matriarchs is rump shaking this bitch on the motherfucking sway of the matriarch shakes the land, and the crooked man continue to walk, right? And just when they thought that he was a man on ice, he turned out to be a soul on fire. He is the shocker, aka the crooked man walking. That's Big Tukey. Angel 44 Blue flipped to Chief Malik Angel Bay, Angel 44 Red out of Chicago, the city of Thebes, which is Thebes in ancient Egypt. And the city of Thebes is the home of the birthplace of Tahuti on the west side, because that's where his mother got her motherfucking rank and title from Big Mama from putting in work with outlaw vice lord bikers back in the 50s. So if you don't know who the outlaw bikers is, then you don't know who the vice lords is. You'll never understand who the Disciple Nation or the motherfucking Peace Stone Nation really is. And the knot came in, Peace Stone's on deck, right? Angel Bay got his soldiers all on alert, Mufti status. Motherfucking Black Fez is on a red alert to take the fezes of all of the imposters and put them at the mercy of the feathers. We won, they lost, and Black Girl Magic say, why they mad? You should have never put yourself in the position to be bullied by a bully trying to bully motherfuckers. Because I'm the bully to the bullies. I'm the bully beater. So when you come in trying to bully my people, I'm just going to bully your ass with my superior position to right, telling the goddamn truth, cutting your ass with a two-edged sword. That's some motherfucking truth cut both ways. A cut going in, cut going out. So when y'all did the bullshit, yeah, we know how to clean that shit up. One drop of blood, motherfucker. We clean that shit up. But at the same time, at the close of the motherfucking age, when we get done cleaning this shit up and we prove that we know what the fuck we talking about and we know how to tune the new children into the frequency of the earth so that they can have a chance to rule and develop into a higher species or quality of being so that they can have the right to ascend by assimilating a one drop of blood from all of the royal families. Once y'all understand that, y'all understand that each one of the royal families come from a star constellation within the 12 signs of the zodiac, commissioned to come to Earth to serve a purpose. The Deros comes from the constellation of the Tauros, the obese elephant nose ones. Those ones come from there. The motherfucking Danakiel, the motherfucking big forehead, right? That comes from the what's called the royal unicorn. Unicorn constellation, and they always come anytime Big Mama need them. So then you have your Teros, the cone heads, right? And these motherfuckers with that long ass motherfucking head, then had no problem bringing that peanut ass head down here to contribute one drop of blood on the zodiac flip to get these motherfuckers right? And they come from the nation, right? And then the Dwanis, the dwarfs, the little motherfucking gnomes, right? The little furry motherfuckers with Herschelitism looking like Cousin It. They come from Canis Minor, whereas your Bigfoot, which we call Enkiduites, the children of Enkidu, because they told Enki just do what Enki do, and he thought that was his name when he got here. So he said when they asked him his name, what he was coming here for, he thought they was asking his name, and he said, do what Enki do. So his name became Enkidu as a joke. And then that's talking about your Wookiees, your Chewbacca, your Bigfoot, your Gigantolopithecus of the Far East. We talking about Australorobustus of your African continent, right? And your Gigantolopithecus and all of these that come from over here. Right, so they got this fossil remains. They just telling y'all they're coming from different places, so they know what they're doing by misleading the people, by teaching this false slave narrative, never letting them know they was at a perpetual, protracted struggle of war, and that they don't think according to the rules of war. You'll never figure out your way out of the trap. But once you understand the rules of war, you can see everybody moves and why they making them, because it's just like a board game. Once you understand the rules of war, right, then you understand why you can't get money while you at war, because you in a warlock. The warlock's the financial coffers so that you don't be exposed to looting of your coffers. So the pharaohs already know, no matter what these motherfuckers do, pharaoh money, the longest money on this bitch. They talking about old money, bitch. We got ancient money. We got money that go back to the foundation of the creation of this planet you call Earth, formerly known as Tiamat or Queen Mother Kai. So if you don't understand what's taking place, then you need to sit your ass down and watch the Earthborn show you how it's done. All it is a simple redemption process to overthrow the admiralty law on the land, operating as the law of the land in a de facto capacity, while the de jure come in and in a ipso facto capacity as a rightful heir, and start telling motherfuckers what to do, and motherfuckers start making moves. And the moves had to be made in order for the pieces to be shuffled around on the chessboard in order to set the oppressor up to take the L, because the L that they flipped, that they thought they was giving us a loss, they was only flipping me sevens to crooked man walk across the land with the big man, Big Tookie. And if these motherfuckers don't understand how the crooked man walk across the land, it ain't no sense of studying the candy man, because the candy man is from another land, and that's the land in the city of thieves. So if you don't understand the candy man, then don't be chanting for Bloody Mary, because Bloody Mary gonna come when you call Bloody Bone Mary, you gonna get your dozen. You see? So Tupac was like, candy man, I better roll on your ass like an avalanche. That's because the name had to have 3 syllables, 3 M's. Morpheus Mysticus Magus, the emissary of light, the redeemer of the righteous, coming to give y'all free knowledge to ignite y'all minds so that y'all can make y'all 5th dimensional ascension without the obstacles put in your path by a low vibrational, low frequency, non-producing entity called a straw man, represented as a government in contradiction to your best interest and directly hostile to your greatest good. And if you don't understand you at war, and you don't understand that we all been at war, and that we ain't never gave up, and we ain't never signed no treaties with these motherfuckers, they brought motherfuckers over here to pretend and masquerade to be us in order to sign treaties. They even made presidential decree chiefs. The president can't make no motherfucking chief, because the chief got to be the most loved, most respected against all the motherfuckers on the land. Wherever he go, all of the motherfuckers with juice love that nigga. And he become the most loved and the most respected. Then he be get his chief status when he continue to bump straight off of the left and the right. And then the motherfucker know he ain't for no games. And when they know he ain't for no games, and they stop sending these motherfucking lames to try to wrinkle up his $5 suit, because he made that motherfucker look good. Because it take $1 million nigga and make a $5 suit look like a goddamn $1,500 suit. Tailor made, properly cut. Y'all don't know nothing about that shit. That's called living off the fat of the land, making do with what you got, taking what's in front of you and formulating it into what you need in order to accomplish the task at hand. Mama say take the stones they throw at you and build a motherfucking castle. And when I built the castle, I was just in the cave of the ancients trying to contemplate the nature of the beast. And once I understood the nature of the beast, I knew where he was coming from, trying to devour the star from the east. That dragon bitch is not getting in, because I'm going to slay that motherfucking heifer at every turn. She can't get past me. I don't give a fuck who she Buffalo. I can't be Buffalo, and I won't be moved. I stand firm in my position, feet locked in the dirt. I hold on to this motherfucking North Pole shit, because I'm a motherfucking NWO Northside motherfucking original cousin crew gangster off of this motherfucking north side of Pontiac. That's Chief Pontiac to you motherfuckers who don't know. And since you don't know, I recommend I tell you so you can try to keep up. But if you can't keep up, don't worry, you're going to figure it out in the end, because in the end, that's just how y'all going to understand when I tell you, well, I'm only going to motherfucking do the job if I'm going to win. And I know I'm going to win because I'm the baddest motherfucker ever born. And if I'm the baddest motherfucker ever born, then I was the greatest swear ever sworn, because they conjured my ass up. And when they conjured my ass up, they knew they was fucking up, because this motherfucker can't be moved, and he don't give a fuck what you say and how you feel, and fuck your feelings when I'm telling the truth. Now, when I'm telling the truth, I don't give a fuck where you come from. You can try to disgrace me and pull me down and talk about me and slice my name and all that shit. I don't give a fuck. Because at the end of the day, I'm going to tell the truth. I'm going to stand in the position of right, and I'm going to always be victorious. because I come forth and proceed from the right hand of Mother Earth, aka the state murder mitten here, to slap you right across your motherfucking face into the land of darkness and the dismal abyss, because you motherfuckers don't belong here in the first place. Now that's a Detroit versus everybody, because Yacktown don't back down, and we gonna bust your head and bust your ass in the head with a Flintstone, right? So if you don't get this motherfucking message straight, you gonna straight get the message. At the end of the day, it is what we say. We back for every motherfucking thing they owe, no longer oppressed. We about to overthrow these motherfuckers right in their motherfucking face without them being able to say nothing about it. Because by right and by position of right and by the highest jurisdiction of the de jure capacity, I got the right to tell these motherfuckers to get off the land. And guess what I told them? Beat it, bitch. You can't stay here. I don't care where you go, high or low, left or right. But it's one thing is, you won't be sleeping here tonight. Get your motherfucking ass to stepping. And I say high stepping, motherfucker. Run with your knees up. Because if one of them motherfuckers get too low, I'm going to bop your motherfucking leg and flip your ass motherfucking 50 flips with this motherfucking AK when it's just a spring. You motherfuckers don't understand. This is a spoken word that every nigga heard. When the shit gets served, the shit gets served. You put it on the platter, mix it with the batter, bring it up, and this shit be crispy than a motherfucker. Y'all don't understand what I'm saying. You don't know how to fry chicken. But I can tell you one thing, this chicken gonna be finger licking. That's good. It is, as KFC would say. That was back in the day when they used to be Kentucky Fried, but now they just KFC because they can't see fucking K. And if you can't see K, then you can't fuck with me, because I know that K is the middle, and the middle is the initial of the K, and the K is the 11 on the flip. And if the K is the 11, then the 9 is the dog, and the dog is the familiar, and the familiar is flipped off the knock to the knockback, off of zigzag zig. And put your motherfucking dog in the fight if you think your man can handle the plan. And she thought her man could handle the plan, so she kicked him in the fight. She don't know this motherfucking blue pit bull don't back down. Even if he is a fucking prairie dog, he's still a goddamn Papa Bear. And Papa Bear just so happened to turn out to be a gorilla, because a gorilla is the patriarch that watches over the matriarch while she watch over the children. And as long as she watching over the children, I can take the left bump, because the left bump don't bother me as long as I know that the love is true. Because if the love is true, it belongs to you, it's going to always come back. That's when they say, if you love something, let it go. If it come back, it was meant to be. And it's always going to come back around, because you got to go out the same way you came in. That's how you play the game of life. And in the game of life, it's a Plutarchy. It's a board game, but you got to be. Times it's an operation. Just don't touch the sides or you'll hit the buzzer. But if you hit the buzzer, don't worry, they'll lock down the school. You know what I'm saying? If they lock down the school, that means they can't get to you, right? So they have to catch the shooter. And if they catch the shooter, then the shooter will flip out off the 9/11. And the 9/11 flips the shooter, and the shooter in St. Louis, the St. Louis shooter is in the school. And the St. Louis shooter that's in the school is flipping out because he want to spray around shit, right? But he don't understand, because he had a longer plan than what the motherfucking man allowed him to continue, because you can't go on, continue doing wrong, because mama say somebody gonna knock your ass right. So you continue to do right, and you be the motherfucker that knocked the wrong back on his motherfucking path. Somebody got to be the big dog in this shit to stand up and put down the bullshit. I'm just saying, on my motherfucking watch, we don't do no sacrifices. You get your merits, get your merits up and your demerits. You're going to put in the work, and then you're going to get out the proceeds. If you're going to find the harmony in the relationship, you can balance out and create the best life that you ever had. But you got to be willing to put in the work. If you ain't willing to put in the work, you ain't going to never get past when it start to hurt. Because if you don't put in the work, you can't tolerate the hurt, because you haven't built up the strength to endure to the end. And mama said the race don't always go to the swift. Sometimes it go to the slow and steady. So if my legs are steady like Freddie, then I can do the fast Freddie up the aisle. Now that's a scene flip, because they changed the name of that town from Motown to Geek Town when it was time to throw down. And when it was Geek Town, they laid down that jit shit. And they was jit shitting all across the city on their Mardi Gras flip in order for a motherfucker to see the coldest jitters that ever jitted the jit in the Detroit set. And then once you understand that that's the conjure language of the land, the jit for Detroit is the same as the C walk for LA and the B walk for the motherfucking Bay. And when you put this motherfucking shit together, that's a rain dance, I say. You got the motherfucking thunder and the lightning. You got the motherfucking rain and the clouds. And when you get it putting that motherfucking shit down, and these honeys shaking their hips. Now that's the sway of the matriarch, where if motherfucker don't act right by the time it get dark, the land starts to shake and quake and show you motherfuckers that these sisters don't play. Now with 7 sisters of destruction, but destruction is always is the most beautiful destruction you ever seen. So while you about to go to your death, you were awestruck with the artistic capability of Mother Nature and her 7 sisters of destruction to come through and give you the most beautiful color motherfucking story array that you ever seen in your life in nature. And then they're gonna tear your ass up. Now, I already warned these motherfuckers, and they thought I was bullshitting, that if you can't match the frequency, they was going to turn your DNA off. And when they turn your DNA off, I don't care where the fuck you at, you going to drop dead where you stand. And it's nothing personal. It's just that you got to understand you got to be from the land. And if you ain't from the land, she turning off your DNA if you can't sink to the earth. So all of these motherfuckers, you call it a motherfucking adult sudden death syndrome or whatever, or SUDS or SADS or whatever the fuck you want to call it. But at the end of the day, if they can't match the frequency, they can't stay here. It ain't nothing personal. It's just strictly family business. It's time to clean grandma's house. Because Big Mama said, don't leave no stone unturned. So everywhere I find these motherfuckers, high or low, inside or out, left or right, front or back, wherever I go, flip these motherfuckers out in the open so they can squash these bugs under their feet and we can go and get the parasites out the mix. That's talking about purging the imposters. As Kanye say, we are Jews, but we the real jewels, and them motherfuckers over there are Jewish. That's kind of like a Jew, but they ain't really true. See, you got to understand the part of the plan where they came from when they came to your land. They used blood shields and sacrifice to block the colors of the motherfucking law. And once they blocked the color to the motherfucking law, you couldn't see what was before your face because you couldn't see the forest for the trees. But if you always remember, the forest exactly what it said it is, it wears hearts on its sleeve. So if the forest is what it said it is, it's obviously what you see is what you saw, and what you see is what you get. And if you could get the truth will set you free. But you first got to know how to utilize it to turn the key. The key to the truth is tell that motherfucker everywhere you go and stand in the position of right. And every day and every night, the motherfucker gonna wish they knew the shit that you knew so that they could do the things that you do and overcome the obstacles that they see you overcome. Even though they don't tell you they respect you, they're gonna have to bow down in the end. They don't have to love me, but they still could be my friend. I understand it's about the love and the respect, but sometimes the respect is all you can get because a motherfucker got too much hate to give you the love. And it's a thin line between love and hate. And if you cross that thin line and still bump straight, that means that you can walk the Siddhasta King. That's the straight and narrow way for a motherfucking king. And only a few can ascend because only a few are the righteous, and the righteous are few in number. And the motherfucking earth shall be inherited by the meek, and the meek is the alfeminate, and the alfeminate is the feminine, and feminine is the women, and the women are the ones to raise the matriarchy. Because when you put the shit the way it go, the machine run the way it's supposed to be run, and that's the most efficient way to run a government. And if you run it the most efficient way it was meant to run, then it's going to run as smooth as it was supposed to be running. And if it runs as smooth as it want to be running, then the people that's listening, that's falling into the governmental structure of the matriarchy is only going to be able to produce their best life because there is no other options but in order to live in prosperity, truth, love, and happiness. And if you don't want to live in prosperity, truth, love, and happiness, you can't stay here. Because we're going to be vibrating on the wrong frequency and we're going to agitate your demons. And your demons going to torment your ass for staying in the midst of all of these motherfuckers throwing Mardi Gras across the land from coast to motherfucking coast everywhere.
And draw that wisdom from them. They there for a reason. Losing this fight for a reason because you can't learn the required lessons to feed the youth victory if you have never been defeated. So yeah, Farrakhan took some losses and Dr. York took some losses and Jeff Ford took some losses and Imam Abu Jamal took some losses and Mumia took some losses. They all took losses so we can win. Put it all together. It's a big jigsaw puzzle. Take all their losses. Don't let them remain losses. Turn them into lessons. You can't lose then. Turn the losses of the past into the lessons for the now. Take the technology and the wisdom of today and apply it to the victory struggle. Unify. Find what you agree on. You don't supposed to agree on everything or you wouldn't be an individual, but you can find what you agree with.
Support what you agree with. The brother Lamel put together a program. I didn't know the brother from a box of rocks, but the description of the program, I agreed with that. I supported that. Anybody think I'm making it up? All you got to do is ask him. The brother came here. We sat and talked about it because I believe in the family-oriented programs. I believe in the unification programs because I know as a mystic studying the blood rights, the rights to the blood, the message in the rights and the message in the blood rights, and studying the problem in the whole Hegelian dialectic. The only thing that this damn devil fear is one unified front. And we ain't got to kill nothing. We ain't got to shoot nothing. We can just sit down at home together. Everybody let's go home at the same time and sit down, and we're going to wait, and we're going to see how much money he going to make off of our struggle while we sitting at home watching him fall apart. You can't do it. So your conscious community, if they really want to be conscious, if they really want to be conscious, every opportunity of unity, dive all over it. Now, a tragedy recently happened with Nipsey Hussle, and it's rare that I exposed to an artist from an interview that makes me interested in his music. And this brother was doing exactly what I'm telling you right now. And he lost his life, whether it has anything to do with the struggle itself or the obstacle to the struggle, which is loose cannon gangbangers, or whether it's an orchestrated effort to silence a voice. It does not matter. Every one of them brothers that supported him in the aftermath, Nick Cannon, Nas, Jay-Z, them sisters, Beyonce, that is the message we should take from that. That brother is a martyr in our community for our liberation. If we let him lay there for no reason, he died in vain. But if we can find some use out of the loss for the greater benefit, just follow his course of action. Reach out to every brother you think is, hey, Jay-Z, won't you put crumb sound bites on one of your songs, man? Let the people hear what that young brother got to say. Let them hear him. Exposing. Hey, yo, Nas, won't you drop a verse or something with the Tasmaniac over there? You know, reaching out, making them connections. And you don't have to be, it don't have to be every day in the news that you making connections. Nobody need to know everything you're doing. But you have to be wise enough to know that your enemy does not want you to make any connections. And if the enemy doesn't want you to make any connections, then you should be trying to make every connection. Every connection. If you know a dude that's the police and he got some sensibility of consciousness, he can be used to question